Hi, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of With Love Soleil. This week is Valentine's Day. So, in the spirit of the holiday and celebration, today's theme is going to be about love. So, I talk about love a lot in my work and in my writing, and it's interesting to me to see the many ways that it gets interpreted, because we all have our different understandings of love. We all relate to love differently. We all sort of think of love in different ways. And to me, when I talk about love and when I think about love, first and foremost, to me, love is much of the point. Love is much of the point of why we're here and what we're here to do. To me, if you lived a life just full of love for yourself and for other people, and where you expand and extend your love in as many ways and to as many others as you possibly can, to me, that is such a beautiful version of success. I think that love is the home frequency. I think love is the closest experience to God and the divine and, purpose and all of the beautiful high vibrational reasons that we exist in this body and to exist in the human form, is to get as close to love as we possibly can and maintain that frequency so that everyone around us experiences that same truth through who we are, through our own energies, through the spirit that we carry forward. I believe that we come from love, that source, that God, that spirit, that the universe is love, that the highest vibrational, non-physical energies and the experience of being alive is pure and true and total love. And that we come from that whatever space we formulate in before we take physical form is no better described than love. And so then you come from that space, and then you have this blip of being a human in this form where you get to experience life in the 3D reality. And to me, though, to get as close to and maintain that connection to love or God or source as you possibly can. So that way, at the time that you tap out of this path that you have called forward, the same experience that you start and end with, love, source, truth, spirit, and you brought that forward in your time here on this planet. And, I don't think everybody sees it that way. And I think, though, that there is this movement towards self-love that's very present in society. And I love it so much because I understand it's an arrow pointing to kind of what I'm talking about, that loving yourself and emanating love from the center of who you are and out into the world is so much of our collective purpose. It's like to bring light to the earth, and love is light. It is the highest vibrational experience, the highest vibrational energy. And so then when you think further about love, to me, I again, when I talk a lot about love, first and foremost, I feel like my life, and I'm going to use the word God and in a lot of my work and in a lot of my teachings. And I want you to understand that, God to me is the best way to kind of define the creator, the most high source, but take it what you will and shift it in your brain. If God is like not a comfortable word for you or not something that you vibe with, like, please replace it as I talk with whatever you believe in, whatever the highest vibrational consciousness is to you. Like, do that for yourself so that way you can still hear me, because I know that God sometimes gets in the way of people hearing what someone is saying. So when I think about love, and when I think about the experience of love, to me it is like my work, it feels like, is to make my life a love letter to God. Because I feel like I know God's love, the love of source, the love of spirit so fully and completely. I have experienced it so many times in my life as the highest peak experiences I've ever known, by sitting, by myself in a meditation when it comes through, or in the most miraculous and divine moments when even by myself, that I then strive to feed, to find, to maintain that experience as much as I possibly can, to make my life a love letter to God. And the highest forms of love that I've known have been those moments of just pure ecstasy where I feel like I've connected into the center of the universe, where only love exists, where only the purest energies, the purest frequencies, God, source, exist. And that to me is how I've learned love. So when I talk about love, I feel like I'm very much talking about and pulling from source, from that space of ultimate fundamental truth and goodness and joy and ecstasy and all of the pure, high, magical experiences that come in that, from that container and from that space. So, a lot of times when I talk about love or loving someone or something, I'm kind of talking about loving even just the highest powers, the higher power, the highest power within you, your highest self. I think when we say love, there's such an immediate translation into it being a romantic thing for someone else, some other body. And that's fine. I think it's beautiful too. And if you can share that, oh my gosh, like, of course, do that. I will always support and promote that. But I think that what you learn through your connection to more than yourself, through the vehicle that is self-love, is real love. It's pure divine love. It's sacred love. It's the sacredness of life itself. It's all that you do moving towards and shifting into the experience of being in that frequency. So, love is not limited. In fact, it's the most expansive thing there is, because once you think you know it, there's always more to know. There's always more to expand into and from and with. There's always more love to feel. And the other space that I really learned love from, and when I talk about love, oftentimes, if I'm being honest, I talk about it as the love that I got from my mother, because her love, her love is so much the reason I am who I am. And I think a mother's love can do that. My father loved me so much. He still loves me so much. But the love I got from my mom was special and unique, and something that I really needed in so many ways to become and to hold the safe, sacred space for me to figure out who I am. And I think that a mother's love can really do that. I think that there's something specific about a mother's love, her radiance and frequency and container that she holds for her children, that really feed and nourish them on a spiritual and soulful level to become who they're here to be. Again, this is not to take away from the father and the father's love, because there's so much magic there too, and so much power. But from my personal journey and my personal experience, there was something unique about the love that I got from my mom, partly because she was very much spiritual, very into, literally trained me. I learned how to count angel numbers, we spoke the same language in that way. We shared the same love languages, which was where we met, though, at God. Her love and my love, and the middle point of our love was spirit. It was source. And to find and to experience those magical synchronistic moments of just pure bliss and mind blown, and you can't make this stuff up type moments constantly with her, felt like the highest love, because it felt like God was present. Source was so present in our bond, which not only confirmed how powerful our bond was, how deep our love was, how high our love was, but also that we were both, in a way, we felt like confirmation that we each also individually were on the right path for ourselves, because we were able to even know what that meant. So a love that meets at source, a love that meets at the most high, the creator energy, where you feel like you are attuned to the highest frequencies possible, and therefore calling them forward, bringing them forward in your experience, in your energy, your density. That is how I know love. That's how I learned love. That's how I figured out. That's the standard that I have for love. And so what that then translated to was just figuring out and clearing out, making space in my container for that type of love to exist as fully as possible, as often as possible. And you've heard me talk before about the many years I spent tapped out of society, no socials, hardly a cell phone, living out of a suitcase, purifying my vessel for love to exist, purifying my vessel. And that time in my life has given me so much power, grace, momentum, understanding, everything that gave birth to a new me in many ways, that time period of my life. And I learned, we think about, I kind of, it's cute when I hear self-love is like taking bubble baths and like, getting your nails done, like having a self-care day being that type of activities, which is so amazing to me. And I'm all for it. I love it. Like, yes, love on yourself in those ways, 1000%. But let's also remember that self-love is accountability. Self-love is showing up for yourself. Self-love is keeping the promises that you make to yourself. Self-love is taking full agency and responsibility over your life, so that love, just as I spoke about in the bond with my mom, is still the meeting point for God, but it's within you. So again, wherever we come from and return to source energy, that is your meeting point for yourself, and that you know how to get home to that. So then your home frequency becomes love. It becomes your meeting point for source. You become the vessel that spirit is safe to exist within and bring forward itself within, so that other people can know love and know God through you. That to me is love. Now, if you can find, and you will, when you find people, friendships, sisters, brothers, soul family, romantic love partners who can meet you in this kind of love, it is the ultimate. That is like supreme experience. Because to share what I'm describing in a tangible way that's felt by both people, there's not even words to put to that. There's not words to put to that. And that's what I learned through the relationship with my mom. Is we just have moments where we just look at each other and our hearts are massively expanded, our minds are blown, and there's not even words that fit what's happening here. It's just pure miracle, pure magic, pure divinity. And the more you open, the more you clear your channel, the more those experiences are attracted to you, the more God, source, works through your life and around you and reminds you how present and loved and supported you are by something much bigger than I could even put into words and the mind can even possibly conceive. That to me is love. That's love. So when I say, I often say like the highest forms of love, X, Y, and Z, that's like something I talk about a lot. And oftentimes, the X, Y, and Z will be in some way bring you back to yourself, because self is the meeting point for source, for spirit. Spirit within, spirit around. That's where the two combine. That's where you live in your highest version continuously, ever increasingly so, where you channel and bring forward and then embody, keyword, embody the truths that I'm talking about. This high vibrational, ecstatic, supreme joy, joie de vivre, right? The joy of just being alive. And I think that most of what people are chasing in the world through external tools, we'll call them, be it money or sex or, whatever, drugs, alcohol, the high that people are perpetually chasing in our society is exactly what I'm describing. Is just the supremacy of being alive, living out your most supreme experience, because there is no high like living in that meeting place where both you and the creator exist simultaneously. That's like the highest of all. And when you find that, when you clear out all the layers of it not being you, all the lower energies that are not you, all of the ways and spaces and blockages that you have that keep you from just being a full, clear container, when you clear that out, when you make room within yourself, it feels so good. You wake up in the morning just feeling so good. Does this mean that you don't have bad moments, experiences, even maybe days? Absolutely not. The human experience is, there's not like it's, The highs are equal to the lows and equally as necessary and important. But your baseline frequency, your baseline experience becomes pure goodness. Almost every morning I wake up and I just love my life. I feel so satisfied with living, excited. It might just mean I'm going to do a little work and sit on my couch and pull out my computer and have my like little cup of cacao, which is like my morning routine. And I'm just so, I can't wait. You know, I literally cannot wait. I feel such joy. And it's because I put in the work to make room for that experience to exist. I found my baseline hum of love, loving my life, loving myself, loving everybody else. It overflows. I'm oftentimes like grabbing my phone, like who can I text and just give massive love to? Because I'm in overflow. I'm in the overflow. And if I'm not, I'll take my time. I'll pull myself out of whatever I have going on so that I can recalibrate and find that place again, because I know how beneficial it is to other people when I'm in my overflow. So that's sort of my commitment, is maintaining that space. Can I be there 100% of the time? No, I cannot. But I can make that my standard. I can make that my standard. And then I can keep my promise to myself to return there as often as I can. And my promise to the world, my promise to my purpose, my life and my mission, and to God. So I'm curious how this resonates with all of you, and again, this is not to say that romantic love, friendship love, platonic love cannot replicate and call forward and embody these energies. In fact, again, love shared moves mountains. Love shared births new universes. Love shared, and a person born from love shared, we need more of that. We need more love that combusts into new creation in whatever way that looks. And it can happen within yourself and it can happen with other people. And the more it happens within yourself, the more that other people meet you at that place. So that's why, this buzzword of self-love, self-care is so important. Yes, you do have a responsibility, a spiritual, societal responsibility to love yourself and to love your life. And if you don't have that yet, you're not quite there yet, you have so much to look forward to. Because when you find that experience of loving your life so much, loving yourself, looking at yourself in the mirror, feeling the experience of being alive in your body, and it just overwhelms you with joy and gratitude and the highest energies, that to me is success. That to me is success. To me, success, money helps. It helps, certainly. That gives you a certain level of freedom. Even finding your work absolutely helps. I definitely am very fulfilled and satisfied with my work. But at the end of the day, I can sit by myself and feel this, and I don't need anything else. I don't reach for much anymore. In fact, I'm more often kind of setting boundaries because my solitude, my aloneness, my me feels so good that I just want to protect that. And I've worked so hard to create this experience for myself that I just want to protect that. So rather than even like reaching for stuff to add, I'm like trying to kind of make sure that I just can keep my pocket pure, clear, high vibrational, real, authentic, genuine, healthy, healing medicine for everybody. That's my work. And that's my commitment to myself. That's the love I have for myself, says I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to say no when I need to and hold boundaries when I need to, and carve out that space so I can exist as fully and completely as I can as myself. And commit to God, source, life, humanity, future generations, that if I call her forward, if I maintain that energy for myself through boundaries and other, energy protection practices, and then I go out into the world with that full overflow, and I just feel like I can just pour my love around and I can sprinkle light everywhere I go. And I see how energies shift and change and transmute in my experience. If I can do that, then I feel like I've done my part. I really do. And that to me is success. To go out in each day, and whatever you're doing, wherever you are, whether you're at the grocery store or at work or with friends or family or just by yourself at the park, If you feel like you are contributing to your space, that's love. That is the love letter that you write over the course of your life, which to me is the greatest masterpiece you will ever create, is when your life itself is a love letter to everybody around you and to yourself and to the creator. So let me know what you think. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, all the things. I sincerely thank you for being here. I honestly have so much love for all of you, my community, my online family. Like y'all feed me life. You keep me in this space. So thank you. I love you. I hope you've had a wonderful week celebrating love in some capacity. And I hope you also know how loved you are and how necessary you are. And I look forward to connecting with all of you again very soon. Much love, everyone.